The questions remain the same in each of these interviews. The power lies in hearing these amazing answers. My name is Tony Reese, and it is with a great privilege and honor I present to you this installment of My Life Lessons, showcasing senior adults. Hi, Mrs. Gernsheimer. Welcome so much to My Life Lessons, showcasing senior adults. I would like you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Hilde Gernsheimer. I was born Hildegard, but have been Hilde and Hopper and Hitty. I have more nicknames than you can imagine.
That's great. Well, welcome to the project.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So how would you define a great life?
My life has been more than interesting, great and sad and everything you can ask for. Mm-hmm. But a great life is when you have a family that you adore and they adore you. I think that's the biggest gift that anybody can get. And I was lucky enough to have a wonderful husband. Unfortunately, he died at the age of 75 and we were 14 years apart, so I was 61. And after about 9 years, I had a call from somebody that I went to school with in Germany and knew as a child, and we got together. He lived in Illinois, he moved to Pennsylvania and loved it, loved everything about it. And I think the most he loved was my family. And he had good taste.
How would you say that being at the Highlands has added to a great life?
I consider myself so fortunate to be living at the Highlands because I've gone through many traumas in life. I left home at 12 years old because of the Hitler situation and was raised in England, lived in a children's home, and then I moved to Illinois for 9 months, and to New York for 9 months, and then when I met my husband, married and moved to Burnville, Pennsylvania. And I had a wonderful life. I had a caring family, beautiful family, and I consider myself very fortunate. I really do.
And being here at the Highlands, has that enhanced this part of your life?
As I say, I feel blessed that I can live here. The Highlands is a wonderful place. It is a beautiful place. We have everything that you can possibly desire for. We really do. We have wonderful friends, and it's a blessing, I think, that I was able to move in here, and I'm very appreciative for many, many things, and the Highlands is on the top of the list.
Mrs. Gernsheimer, who, as you were growing up, were your role models or your heroes?
I was one of 4 girls. My oldest sister always was. She was 4 years older than I, was very special in my life. The next sister and I were only 15 months apart. We had some issues because we went to the same grade, but we did very well, and she's still alive and lives in Florida. And unfortunately, my younger sister was killed with my parents in a concentration camp in Poland. I think my father was my idol. I just adored him. My mother was a very serious and tense person and worried a lot. And I'm a more easygoing person, I think. I am very appreciative of many, many things, including my wonderful family. Mm-hmm. And who's my idol? There's so many of them. I'm not sure I can pick one out, but possibly my husband, who was a very caring and wonderful man. And I think maybe he's on top of the list.
Oh, that's wonderful. What do you think would surprise people the most to learn about you?
That I was the most shy young girl that you could possibly imagine.
Really?
I was so timid and shy. And the thought of getting up and speaking in public, I think, was impossible. But I've learned to do it. I've told my story often with the help of my sons and daughter. And the biggest blessing I think I had as my twin sons, Jack and Jeff, and my daughter Sharon. With their mates, I am as close with their mates as I am with them. And my ex-daughter-in-law still is on the list, as I'm still mom to her.
Did they help you with that, to come out of that shyness? They all helped you to do so?
I think maybe age helps a little bit, and to know that everybody else goes through the same fears and doubts that I went through. And I just think we have to accept what we can't change, and I've learned to do that. And that makes life a lot easier. I have a sister who's my husband used to call her a happy warrior.
Oh, that's a lovely term.
If she couldn't, I didn't have something to worry about her as far as health is concerned and this and that, she wouldn't have been happy. And I think I'm the opposite. I'm very mellow. I've become more so. I accept what I can't change. Unfortunately, Jack has Parkinson's, and that's a big blow, but he's amazing. And his wife, Nancy, is just wonderful. So I have a lot to be thankful for.
Mrs. Gernsheimer, what was your greatest life lesson?
I've had a lot of them. I left home at 12 years old, lived in a children's home in England for 6 years, learned a trade, which I was very fortunate to. Became a hairstylist. I was very fortunate to be taught by very talented man, and he always said to me, when you go to America, you're good enough to go to Hollywood. Not quite. But I was lucky to get a job at Helena Rubinstein in New York City, and I worked there for 9 months when I met my husband. And I met him in January. I married him in March, and I had 2 children in December. Now, I dare anybody to beat that.
Absolutely.
Be hard to do. But life lessons is that you can't change what happened. You can fret and worry all the time, but you're not going to change it. And I think you learn that you have to accept what you can't change and make the very best of it. And I think I've done that. And I'm blessed with 3 wonderful children and equally blessed with their mates. And so I'm lucky. And wonderful grandchildren.
How do you think you have put that life lesson, as you said, there were many, but that particular life lesson, can you give an example of how you have put that lesson into practice?
That's a hard question to answer. But I think as you mature, you know that you can't change things. They're bound to happen. And I think you have to realize that all the worrying in the world doesn't help. So you may have to decide that you accept what you can't change. And I think that takes a long time to learn that. It takes a long time, but I'm sort of mellow. He might not agree, but I think I am, and I try to accept, as you know, Jack has unfortunately Parkinson's, but he's dealing with it beautifully, and he's so fortunate. Jeff is by his side all the time, and Nancy is a wonderful, wonderful girl, so a lot to be thankful for.
What does love mean to you?
Everything. Everything. In every form and way. I've had 2 very wonderful husbands, and love is family and a gift of life. It really is a gift of life. You can't, that's something that really can't appreciate enough.
How do you want to be remembered?
As a good person who tried her best. Struggled at times, but tried her best, and I think I have.
Mrs. Gernsheimer, it has been a privilege and an honor to
Tony,
interview you.
I'm really, really sorry I didn't recognize you.
It's quite all right. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.